Prior to the pandemic, more than 35 million people living in the U.S. did not have enough food to eat or were unsure of how to secure their next meal. The pandemic has only intensified this situation. A Northwestern University research team estimated in June that food insecurity doubled overall and tripled among homes with children. But what can organizations do to address hunger during the pandemic while planning for an unpredictable future? And how can they prioritize sustainable practices in their response? I sat down with Dr. Powers, the managing director of the Hunger Solutions Institute at Auburn University, to learn more.
By design, emergency food assistance programs are for emergencies. And to date, in our modern contemporary society, we haven't faced anything super long-term like we're facing right now. If you talk to many of the food pantry and food bank leaders, they'll tell you, like, we're not used to dealing with something this long. Responses to natural disasters, responses to needs during the holiday season, responses to needs during the summer season. They're just designed for shorter term responses.
When prioritizing a sustainable response to the pandemic, Dr. Powers believes there must be a broad approach. Sustainable environment also means sustainable people. She believes we won't be able to sustain both without good agricultural production and practices and providing communities with healthy, culturally appropriate foods. She said over the past 5 years, we've seen a dramatic shift in federal and state programs' focus on not just feeding individuals, but on supplying healthy, sustainable options. And she believes this value will stay the same as it has continued throughout the pandemic.
All of us working in the Sustainable Development Goals recognize the integrativeness of all the goals, whether it's animals, people, planet, climate, economics, health and wellness. They all work together to sustain the planet. And so I have been pleased with the focus on the past 5 years on sustainability in the food assistance realm, and that value's not been lost during this time, and I look for it to continue to expand as we move into the next 5 years, and particularly in our response to COVID. Everyone can play a role. It doesn't have to look like donating food. It doesn't have to look like volunteering. It can, but everybody plays a role, from awareness to action to advocacy around policies that can continue to make the response easier and better.